Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. It is Wednesday. I am feeling frisky, therefore I am going live. Had a little time here this morning, technically now this afternoon. And instead of eating some food, I decided to come chat with you guys for a little bit. Hopefully I'm not hangry. Hopefully I don't get hangry and start just rambling. But I did want to jump on here. I've been meaning to go live since like Monday to talk about a couple of things, and I've been unable to do so because of various competing priorities. But here I am. I want to do something real quick. I want to acknowledge a couple of individuals, a few by name and then some a little more abstractly. But some people are having some pretty significant and important dates. And when I can, I like to pause and acknowledge people, especially if there's some really cool stuff going on. So I want to give a shout out to my man, Ariel. Ariel is a fantastic subscriber that has been part of the channel for some time now. He contributes to the blog on regiecollects.com. Today is his birthday, and I have no clue how old Ariel is. And at a certain point, I think we all just stop counting because it really doesn't matter. You can rent a car and have a drink. Nothing else matters. But shout out to Ariel in all seriousness. Happy birthday, brother. I hope that you have a great day. Enjoy the cake and other festivities that I'm confident that you are going to partake in over the course of the day. And more importantly, enjoy the time with the family. Second, I want to give a shout out to Harvey Abel and his wife. They are celebrating 35 years of marriage, which is just incredible because I honestly thought Harvey was like 35 years old. So the fact that he has 35 years is that's really impressive. You don't oftentimes hear about those types of numbers these days. So I think it's an important thing to stop and acknowledge just how significant that is, man. It's really special. So shout out to Harvey and his wife. And then in the abstract, I want to acknowledge those individuals out there that may be going through their own different trials and tribulations, their own just challenges of life that are tough, and I think that we all are dealing with Voldemort, and then there's another layer of stuff that just happens. And any one of those things would be fine, but there are people out there that are dealing with multiple things. And occasionally people reach out to me to make me aware of situations. And, one of them happened last night, and I was in this chair. I had these lights on. I was recording videos for you guys for a couple of weeks away, and I'm reading this message, and I just kind of sat here for a little while to think through like what had been said to me. And it's life can be tough. Life can be tough. And the good thing, however, as I make a very difficult transition, the good thing here is that, comics and hopefully channels like mine provide people with a little bit of escapism that allow them to get away from some of these harder aspects of life and to just zone out and just have some fun and not care about this other stuff. Not that stuff's not important, but it's one of those things, whether you're talking about comic books or you're talking about working out, that have always been a form of escapism for me, that have allowed me to focus my efforts on something entirely different. And when I go back to my problem, I'm able to kind of work through it or think about the situation a little bit differently as a result of having taken that break to read some comics or to do a workout. Having not necessarily a balance, but having that outlet, I think helps. And so if the channel serves that purpose for anybody, thank you. Thank you for allowing me into your lives and allowing me to help you through some tough times. So with that, I am going to continue moving this thing on. I want to say hello to some comic book soldiers that are joining me here on a Wednesday. Tina's in the house. The OG Blue Wrench is in here. Yoshi is here. Urban Legend is in the house. It's good to see you, my friend. Scrolling down through the names, Young Matthew is in here. How you doing? Matt Woods is in the house. Scrolling through, there he is. There's the birthday boy. How you doing, brother? Scrolling through some of the names, seeing Burke family is up in the house. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Blue Wrenches, bro. They show up and make sure stuff is set before anybody else gets here. The rugged is in the house. How you doing? Kimball is in here. Hasma, I think that's how you say that. Hasma. Welcome. How much can I bench? The question is not that. The question is how much is on my chest that needs to get off my chest. That's how much I can bench. True fact. Scrolling down, Iron Dad, Comic Clad. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. My man, Thomas. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining me for like this impromptu live stream. We're going to talk about a couple of different things, man. There's a few things, that I have up here that I want to talk about, but we'll definitely talk about whatever it is that you guys want to talk about, just because it is going to be a super random conversation. Ariel, your wife's is there. Tell her I said, what's up? What up? What's up? How you doing? All right. So the first thing that I wanted to make you guys aware of, and I cannot remember who sent me this, but someone sent this to me. I want to say it might have been like Monday morning, super early. I honestly can't remember because there's a lot of Comic Soldier reporters out there that feed me information. And it's like I'm like doing a lot of different stuff and I can't always keep track of the news and the person that tells me. But I know somebody, at least a couple of people sent this one to me. And they sent it to me because I spoke about this not that long ago. So I want to close the loop and let you guys know that something that I talked about is now not going to happen. And I am personally a little saddened by this news. I'm saddened because, to the point that I made earlier, we all need a little bit of escapism from now, from time to time, and trying to get back to some semblance of normal, some semblance of being able to engage in activities that make us happy, I think help with some of this stuff. And so to that point, unfortunately, the LA Comic-Con is not going to happen in 2020. They have actually pushed the date out from December 11th through the 13th. It has now been pushed out to September 24th through the 26th of 2021. So definitely a sad thing. And again, if you look on the front of their thing, they've like reset the date and it's like, I don't know, some crazy number away. But what was cool here is that they actually gave us a little bit of rationale as to why this wasn't going to happen. And at the end of the day, what they were waiting for was Governor Newsom, who is the governor here in the great state of California. They were waiting for him to provide an update and some guidance on the reopening of theme parks. And the thought was that the theme parks would be open, which would then allow Governor Newsom, after a few weeks of time, to then provide some guidance and updates regarding events and conventions, right? And so what happened is he decided to actually kick the can. He decided to kick the can on theme parks, which means that the organizers for the LA Comic-Con now have no way of knowing when and if Governor Newsom will actually provide guidance for conventions and events. And so because of that, because of the uncertainty associated with that, they have basically said, we're just going to go ahead and punt. And here's the thing. The truth of the matter is that this is not the first time that Governor Newsom has actually kicked the can. Several times they were expected. Guidance was expected. And honestly, let's be honest. I don't think it's just him. I think a lot of governors are trying to collect information to make informed decisions. And when they don't have the information and feel like they cannot make a decision, they are choosing to make no decision, which essentially elongates the reopening of things. So LA Comic-Con is now going to happen in September of 2021. If you picked up tickets, there is some guidance here as to what's going to happen with with the tickets. If you actually purchase them, they're going to roll over and there's a refund guarantee. You can actually head over to their website. If you just search for LA Comic Con, you can actually find all kinds of information here. I'm not going to read through that stuff because I didn't buy tickets. I was just hopeful that it was going to happen. And again, shout out to the COMIC SWOLDIer reporters that provided me with some insight as to what was going to happen with this. It was super helpful for you guys to flag that for me so that I had some awareness. All right. What else did we want to, let me go back to the chat here real quick. My man Comics with Bueller is in here. It's good to see you, my friend. Gordon is like, yep, keep those infections low. Seeing what else you guys are talking about in here. Old school, how you doing? My boy Blue, how you doing? H Factor, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. He's fining churches for being open. Are you talking about Governor Newsom? Really? That's crazy. Anybody that takes aim at a church, probably not going to work out for you. just being honest. Sadly, life in California is canceled for the foreseeable future. These are probably facts. These are, I do see people, I'll be on Instagram because I spend a lot of time on Instagram and I'll see people out and they won't have masks on. I'm like, where in the world are you? And then I read the notes and most of them are like throwback. They'll be like, remembering the time when we didn't have to wear masks and we could actually talk to people like it was normal. So I just thought that was funny. Scrolling through some of the comments here. So yeah, let's talk about this. I'm going to respond to this comment, even though my name is not spelled correctly, even though. Yeah, I got it right again. There we go. But comic book steals and deals is asking why the cupboard is bare. Why are the walls in your comic book room bare? A lot of people are like, so what is that even on your wall? So what is back there on that wall is my exclusive variant that I came out with several months ago. I am waiting for the UPS guy to arrive because my Blue Label CGC exclusive variants are somewhere in the neighborhood. I've been actually tracking the truck and I swear he just circles my house. He circles my house based upon the GPS locator that is embedded in his UPS truck. But I remain hopeful that he will arrive sometime before 1 o'clock because that's what the thing says. He's going to come sometime between 9 and 1, which means I'll probably get these books about 6 o'clock tonight. Possibly even 8 because that's how they do me here. But though the books are not on the wall because a lot of people that ordered blue labels also ordered yellow labels. So I'm going to be combining the blue labels with the yellow labels that are sitting right there. And all of those are going to be mailed out today. And then all of those people that actually picked up blue labels, those will also be mailed out to you. And then I'm also going to be issuing your refunds as well for the shipping because a lot of people bought multiple things. They bought raw book, blue, and yellow, and I charge shipping for each one. So I'm going to be refunding all of that shipping to you guys, and you will receive your updates and alerts via email. So definitely stay tuned. My goal is to get it done today. So stay close to your inboxes. So what this basically says is that Regie has only 3 copies of his own variant that he signed. That's basically what that is. I have 3 copies left, and those are going to stay in the personal collection. For how long? We don't know. I may end up giving some stuff away. You never know how it's going to flow. I may just feel frisky one day. All right. So let me head back to the chat and see what you guys are talking about. It is coming, Joe. My man, I am going to make it happen. Man, UPS, my UPS driver is actually a pretty cool guy. If it's him. A lot of times we get trainees and stuff like that, where I've literally yelled down the street and like, you're passing the house. Can you stop? You have a package for me. Because this is a training route for some reason or another. Yeah, that's just such is my life. Such is my life. Track it, brother. I am tracking it. Let me tell you, I have the GPS locator on that dude. So let me scroll through. All right, cool. So that was the one update that I wanted. Well, 2 updates now. So thank you for allowing me, whoever asked that question, to address the second thing on my list. One other thing that I wanted to, well, I have 2 other things, to be honest with you, and both of them are going to be relatively quick. So it has been 2 years. It has been, I think, roughly 2 years that I have been reading the current volume of Amazing Spider-Man. And I think everyone out there knows how I feel about the current volume of Amazing Spider-Man. Everyone knows it because I'm not shy about talking about how ungood it happens to be. But I saw a news report today, and I saw the news report, and my immediate thought after I read the spoiler was, I don't know that I care, which is like the worst thing. The worst thing for like a Spider-Man person is to not actually care about what is actually happening in Spider-Man. And you can replace the word Spider-Man with whatever character you love, right? That is like the worst thing when it's your favorite person or team or character, whatever it is, and you're like, doesn't really matter. That's just not a good thing. And I'm not going to reveal. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But this is what I saw. This is what I saw right here. It was Kindred's identity revealed in Amazing Spider-Man 50. Because right now we are on issue 850. Legacy numbers, or 49. And so the next issue will be 50. And after 2 years, they are going to reveal who the Kindred's identity actually is. And it's in its climax, a 2-year climax. I scrolled down, I read it. Yeah. So if you want to know who it is, you can either wait for this issue to drop, or you can head over to Newsarama, newsarama.com, and actually read who it is. And Kat released this like 3 hours ago. And again, I read it and I was like, yeah, okay, no big deal. No big deal right there. So the very last thing, the reveal was predictable for sure. I mean, it could have been these number of people, right? It could have been these number of people. So, and again, with the way that they stretched it out for so long, it was kind of like, this can't be truly, well, never mind. Let me not do that. Joe's like, so who is the Kindred? I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it. I will mess it up. So let me leave that alone. So all right. So let me do the very last thing, and then we're just going to chat. We're going to chat about whatever it is that you guys throw up in all caps, because that'll actually help me to be able to see it. But the very last thing that I wanted to share with you guys, and again, it's going to be super brief, just like this last one, was that they're making some changes on New Mutants, and New Mutants is one of the titles from Dawn of X that I actually dropped. I could not get into it. But Ed Brisson was the guy that was actually Jonathan Hickman. He was the Jonathan Hickman right before Jonathan Hickman came in and did what he did with Dawn of X, right? So Ed Brisson was writing the most recent volume of X-Men. Right before Jonathan came in and pitched the idea to do what he's doing right now to the editorial staff at Marvel, and they allowed him to do it. And Ed Brisson basically moved over, if memory serves, Ed Brisson actually moved over from being the main guy on the X-Men title to writing New Mutants. And his run on the New Mutants is basically about to end. And again, this is one of those titles that I really just could not get into. And I want to say I bought the first 5 issues, of every single Dawn of X title that came out. At that point, my thing was, I want to support it. So at the point of issue number 5, I basically removed several of them from my pull list if I wasn't enjoying them at that point, because I'm like, 5 issues is a lot. That's a lot for me to invest in you. And so I went ahead and this is one of them. But you can see that the 10 of Swords is the current story arc, the current massive story arc that they are doing right now with X-Men. And you can see here's one of the guys that is going to be part of that story arc, which, I read issue number 1, I think it was, and it was an oversized struggle issue for me. But all right, so that's basically the end of my agenda, my formal agenda. We're definitely going to dig into, again, whatever it is you guys want to talk about. Ed Brisson wrote X-Force. Matthew Rosenberg wrote Uncanny X-Men. No, well, here's the thing. Who wrote issue number 1 of X-Men, the most recent volume? Let me look it up here real quick, because again, I have no problem being wrong. So I definitely, if I can get internet signal, I will pull it up, and then we can actually look it up. but cell phone doesn't seem to want to connect. Well, let's see if we can check and get an update on UPS. No, nothing's working right now. I don't have anything, nothing going on, no bars on that thing. So let's see, X-Men. Let me see, what was that, 2018? I think that was 2018. 2018 comic book. I think maybe we just connected right there. I think we just connected. Let me check real quick, see if we get anything over here. Nope, still nothing there. It's weird. Oh yeah. Well, so here, let's share it. Let's share it on the screen. And again, I don't know. I assume because his name was the one that I kind of locked into memory. You can see here that when it looks at the writers, there's a couple of writers that actually worked on it. One of which was Ed. So I assumed that he was first up with that issue number 1 because his name is actually listed first on the cover, because I remember reading this one in detail. But yeah, again, that's I was doing that from memory, so others may be able to pull up some additional information a little bit quicker than I, but that's what I was recalling from memory. All right, scrolling down. So I dig the Hellions. I actually dig the Hellions. What are they on, like issue 3 maybe? That team is an interesting team. And that's one of the ones that I've kept. I got rid of Fallen Angels, got rid of New Mutants, Excalibur I dropped, but X-Force, X-Men, Hellions, and Marauders were the ones that I continued to read because I was enjoying those. Jorge, how you doing, brother? He says, thanks again for the advice in buying that large collection. Feels like Christmas. Yes, it does, my friend. That is one of the great things about buying a large collection, is that it literally is Christmas until you get through that last bin. It is like an extended kind of Christmas. So shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you for making the leap and taking a chance and buying something that you were afraid of. And I mean, I'm not well, let me restate that you were apprehensive about, because buying a large collection can be a daunting task. And I think you were doing the right thing by asking yourself some questions and asking me some questions about the situation and doing your due diligence. And then after doing those things, you decided that you wanted to move forward. And I think that you will be rewarded for taking the time to think through it, as well as taking the calculated risk to execute. So I definitely applaud you for making some magic there, man. Good luck to you. Make sure you send my ASM 300 as payment whenever you have a moment. I definitely will appreciate that. What is this? If a staple on a book is bent into the front cover, how much does that affect the grade? So that's one of the challenges, if you will, with grading, is that it's not like a staple or a corner bin will take off automatically a 0.5, right? Or whatever. You have to look at the book in its totality, right? And the question is, it's bent, but the question is it ripping the book? Is it tearing the book, or is it just bent, right? You know, and that's like part of it is the staple bent, or is the staple just not necessarily, was it not in the right position when they clamp down on it as part of the machine, right? So in other words, is it a production defect, or is it a defect that was introduced after, like somebody inadvertently bent the staple? So it's tough to answer that question without knowing specifically the nature of that staple, as well as the overall condition of the book. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little hard to answer that one. Scrolling through the comments here again. If you guys have things you want to talk about, throw it up in all caps, because it'll actually to help me see it a little bit better. Dude, I see you, and you are welcome. There is a reason we don't talk about certain topics here on the channel. Because we want all to be welcome here, so we don't get into any of those kinds of things. Let me see. Can Donny Cates save Thor and Venom from the recent letdowns the character reveals in Venom and the final battle with Black Winter were lackluster so far. So what I would say to you is that I don't know if either one of those books are letdowns. I would say that potentially how certain mini story arcs ended were a little disappointing. I would give you that. Like the Black Winter wasn't all that much, but I don't even know if the Black Winter was actually what the story was about. Right. The story was really about Galactus being the herald of someone else, Thor doing what he did to basically kill Galactus, right? That was the real story. I think that the Black Winter was a plot device that was used to actually tell a much more interesting story. You know what I'm saying? So Donny Cates, in my opinion, is a super talented person, but he will have you looking in one direction and be doing something else. It's a little bit of some misdirection. And one of the things that he talked about was that this is like the first time he's had to tell two major stories all at the same time. I will say that I believe that Venom and Thor, the runs that are being done by Donny Cates, are head and shoulders above any other run of either one of those in recent times. I will say that, and that's not a letdown to me. And again, I think that maybe little stories within the overall story could be a little flat, but overall, those books are incredible books. Scrolling through some of the comments here, Flash fan, do not crash, brother, be safe. Scrolling through the comments, seeing what else you guys. Hydra, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. My man Hydra is over there releasing Halloween related content on his YouTube channel. I think he released something related to Wolfman, and I'm not sure whether he is talking about Wolfman or a Wolfman or Marv Wolfman. I'm uncertain, which means I now have to go watch the video so that I better understand what is happening. Jorge over there bragging. There you go. This guy bought a very large collection and is now the proud owner of a couple of ASM 300s as well as some other awesome books. Again, congrats, brother. That was definitely a good move, my man. And again, I like to live vicariously by spending other people's money. BB, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Homegrown is over there agreeing with Eternal Thunder, saying these two books are let down. I don't know. I don't know. So let me see. Sully Two Kings. It's probably a lull for those two titles, not that Venom or Thor have been bad for a number of issues. And yeah, we actually talked about that in one of the other live streams, is that it's actually really difficult, I think, to tell these high octane stories issue after issue after issue. And traditionally the way that it works is that you have these story arcs, these inflection points that writers will go through, where they have a build up, they tell a wonderful story that has a climax, and then it kind of goes into a little bit of a lull where they continue to kind of develop the characters and tell a little bit of a story, and then they have another ramp up. And if you think about it, to some degree or another, where everything is headed is towards the King in Black. So you may be in a little bit of a lull now, but that's because the King in Black is actually going to be coming. So they don't want to tell, again, massive story after story after story, because that also gets a little bit old. So I think that you might be in a lull, but the build up to something greater is actually right around the corner. So Super Chat just came in. I want to acknowledge that before it disappears. My man Juan, how you doing, brother? Hey, Reggie, 2 people away to 10,000 subs. Congrats. Just watched your Go Collect video and left a comment. There you go, man. So shout out to Juan. I definitely appreciate it. Comic Collection Agency has been a tremendous supporter of the channel for quite some time. And I need to finish watching the end of that Go Collect video. I was watching parts of it, and I stopped when I had that moment where I was talking about Snowflame. If you guys don't know about Snowflame, man, go watch the Go Collect video and then treat yourself to some hilarity. I think the editor did a good job of editing that section, because part of it is when I film these videos for Go Collect, I am honestly just like, I'm having fun. And then the true fun of it for me is when I actually see what they do, what the editor does with the raw footage that I send over, because I put these things in there and I'm like, well, how is he going to handle that? Let's see what happens. And then, you know, through the magic of editing and graphics and all that kind of stuff, the editor does a really good job of making me look good. So so shout out to Go Collect and Comic Collection Agency for the super chat, and also for the acknowledgement of that content that's over there. So scrolling down through more of the comments here, and again looking for caps, because I'm actually going to jump on a couple of things. Snowflake brother, Chili Monger, treat yourself. Snowflame, Go Collect. Check it out when this live stream is over. Check it out. It is it is some awesome goodness over there. Yeah, the editor, man, Ariel, the editor does a good job, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing you're talking about the graphics editor, but I think their other editors are good as well. The ones that do the blog posts, the ones that I interact with, I think they all do just a fantastic job over there. Fantastic partner. And I will tell you that we are probably going to be doing some other things soon. Am I reading The Rise of Ultraman and or Snake Eyes? I am not reading either one of those. There's a fantastic blog post on regiecollects.com that actually talks about Ultraman, but I have not gotten around to reading that one. I've been honestly digging a little bit into some Boom Studio stuff. I've been having a back and forth with Ross, I think he's the publisher and founder of Boom. So I've been reading a lot more Boom stuff as of late, and I'm enjoying that. I read one of their most recent titles just last night. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But as you guys know, there's so much stuff to read and there's so many hours in the day. You cannot do it all. So those are two that I've heard, not necessarily Snake Eyes, but Ultraman, I've heard good things about. I just have not had an opportunity to read either one of those. So scrolling down through the comments here, there you go. Throw that up there real quick. Hydra is talking about his video from yesterday. And again, if you guys get a chance, definitely check it out. So scrolling through, see what else you guys are talking about. Scrolling. I'm gonna go check it out. I try to as best I can, at least for like the first couple of hours after the Go Collect video goes live. I try to interact with people over there a little bit. That's not necessarily a requirement. I just like interacting with people. If you're going to interact with my content, I can at least like it and respond back to you if you have a question. But I try to do it like for like a day. I don't go beyond that with the Go Collect videos, but I will check yours out in just a moment. So they are, man. Boom Studios is killing the game. They really are killing the game. So what is this? Do a Boom video, which would be, that's the challenge, man. Like I read one last night that was pretty cool. They only find them when they're dead. I think is fantastic. 7 Signs or 7 Secrets. I think that is on issue number 1 still. That is pretty cool. Something is killing the children. I mean, it's tough because they are putting out some good content. You know what I'm saying? And for me, part of why I did the gung ho was because there was a natural tie-in to the channel and what we talk about from, and that's why that variant made so much sense. My challenge moving forward is, can I make that same type of relevant connection with a title? I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I may be able to do something that involves war because of Comic Soldiers. I would need to think through that. But part of it is I don't want to just do a variant for the sake of, if I don't have to. If I can have a deeper meaning or make it an inside joke for us, then it makes sense. But you never know. I may just be like, forget it. I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna just do a cool variant because I love that book. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it all plays out. It is, man. Back walls going bald just like I am. Just like the owner, man. You start to look like your dog after a while. My room and I are starting to look very similar these days. We're both balls. Man, it's fantastic. It is. You know what? Here's the thing. I was talking about a letdown. Getting back to Eternal Thunder, talk about a letdown. Issue number 2 was a letdown because I thought after issue number 1, we were going to find them alive. I was like, man, because they were, the setup was we only find them when they're dead. And they were like, well, let's go get a live one. So I'm waiting to see the live one. No, there was no live one in issue number 2. So I was like, Okay, I guess they're going to stretch this one out a little bit. So, but it really is a good read. It really is a good read. I have enjoyed that title. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. So what is this? Reggie would do something like, is killing the 17. I'm gonna just do a massive connecting variant across all of the titles. You know what I'm saying? It's like we did them all. We like them all. We're gonna do one massive variant. You know what I'm saying? Like that Jim Lee Wonder Woman sketch that he did, where he had a different a different generation on each of the three covers. We're just gonna run it across. You know, there's like a big sword and like a gibbon or something. Just run them vertically across these things. Oh, I guess it's somebody else's birthday. Sean? This Sean? It's my birthday. Hey, Sean. Happy birthday, brother. Let me add you to my list. Because today we have given shout outs to Ariel, who is having a birthday. I don't know if it's today, but he's having a birthday. I'm guessing like soon. He's eating some cake later, so I'm assuming it's like near term. My man Harvey Abel is having a 35th anniversary. And then now Sean is having a birthday. He is 34. And yes, I know that it says 43, but we are going to take off a couple of years there, brother. But happy birthday, my man. Scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. 7 Secrets issue number 3 comes out today. I have not been to the comic shop. My local comic shop opens in 11 minutes, which means that this live stream is not going to go longer than that because my local comic shop needs me, and we're going to be rolling out of here. Scrolling through some of the comments, see what else you guys are talking about. What do you think that Cates will bring light? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what the long-term plan is for Galactus, right? Here's the thing. There are people that believe that Kang the Conqueror is going to be the next big bad. There are people that believe that Null will be the next big bad. There are others that think that Galactus is going to be the next big bad, all in the MCU. And the epiphany that I had a couple of weeks ago that I don't think that I've shared publicly is that I don't know if there will be a single big bad in the MCU. In my mind, we have conditioned ourselves to believe that there can only be one because of Thanos. The truth of the matter is that there could be multiple big bads that are in the works in the MCU, potentially on the small screen, potentially multiple on the big screen. We don't know. And one thing that we do know is that Kevin Feige likes to throw curveballs, right? So my point in talking about this is that it's interesting that they have taken Galactus off the field, but they may have taken him off the field so as to bring him back to then build him up to lead to something. And that's pure speculation on my part, because I'm like, well, why did you kill off Galactus, right? I mean, it's not the first time he's died, but what purpose does it serve if not to tell some bigger story and potentially to serve a bigger purpose? Only time will tell whether it'll be the life bringer that comes back or some other form of a bigger, badder, more deafer, if you will, Galactus. Only time will tell. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys are going to be doing. So Gordon, if you ruin the 7 Secrets for me, brother, I'm gonna find you. Teasing. Let me see. What is that? Following. Okay. Scrolling through, seeing what else you guys are talking about. 34 gang, scrolling to get, brother. No. Crypt Keeper. What people don't realize is that all of the big bads report to the biggest, baddest of them all, that being the Gibbon. Gibbon doesn't get his name, that doesn't get dirty. He lets other people do his dirt. Scrolling down, fingers crossed. Bro, I'm gonna tell you. So I think it was like 2.5 years ago. My theory. So my blue ocean strategy is always about trying to be ahead of the curve. And more than 2 years ago, and you can go back and you can look at the videos. Basically, what I started doing was I started anticipating that Marvel was going to go cosmic, and I started buying up all of the cosmic entities, first appearances of all cosmic entities, including the Beyonder. I then turned my attention to the ocean because I'm like, they're going to go ocean at some point. Let me buy up all these books. And partly it is because of two things. I did this because of two things. I have an interest in these characters, cosmic characters. Thanos from the 90s captivated my attention. My original Thanos quest is hanging on this front wall, is an 8.5, and it is absolutely gorgeous because I had it since my childhood. And everything related to Thanos, I picked up. But I have an interest in these characters. Submariner goes way back with me, right? So I bought them because of that, but also because I'm anticipating at some point these characters, these books will get hot. And as a result of that, the values of those books will go up. So why pay more later versus paying less now by anticipating what potentially will happen? That is the nature of the blue ocean strategy. And to that point, if you are interested in trying to find the blue ocean, because I never tell you what the blue ocean is, right? Because if I say it, then I immediately make what is blue red, right? But what I do say is the blue ocean is everywhere that it's not red, which is legit. But my man Ariel actually wrote a blog post that is available on regiecollects.com right now, where he actually talks about how to find the blue ocean. So if you head over to the website, regiecollects.com, you scroll all the way towards the bottom, you will find a blog post and you will see a red ocean and a blue ocean. That is Ariel's post. And you'll see some others there from Doug and also from Scott P, both of which I think are here in the chat right now. All right. So some good stuff up there for you guys to be able to check out if you are indeed interested. All right. So with that, I'm going to wrap this thing up. My goal is to head over to the comic shop, pick up my books. Well, first I'm going to go do a couple of minutes of work. Then I'm going to head over to the comic shop, pick up my comics, and come back and maybe read some stuff. Maybe we'll go live again later tonight. I don't know. I'm feeling frisky, so all bets are off. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. Shout out to everybody that is here in the live stream right now. Thank you all for hitting the thumbs up button. Thank you for joining me for this chat. If you are watching this thing back on replay, I want to invite you to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button as well. Go ahead and turn on, hit the subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff, so that you guys can stay abreast of all the content that comes out from the channel. And remember, we are giving away, clean that off a little bit. It's a little sticky now. We're giving away a really awesome book this week. This is Strange Tales, issue number 158, 6.5. Speaking of cosmic, this is one of those books that I picked up. This is the first appearance of the Living Tribunal. This is this week's Go Collect giveaway book. And again, one of those books that I picked up more than 2 years ago because I knew that the MCU was going to be going cosmic. All right. With that, if you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Reggie Collects, or you can send me an email to reggie@regiecollects.com. Take care.